Well, these are the kind of charts you like to see. Look at this. All right, right here. Picture perfect. This is what we want to see. Could be a spicy entry. Have those levels ready, guys. This is absolutely a top watch for me at market open. I mean, this is already in these two candles, 20%. This stock was on the watch list today. We are up 50% from that watch list entry. And what was beautiful about this one is, would you look where it bounced? We're green, baby. We are green this morning. We could predict this stuff. This is how you make money. That's 28% in 3 minutes. I mean, can't get any easier than that, right? What's going on, everybody? It's Amma Jamma here. Welcome to our live trading today. We're going to give it just a minute to get some people in here and we'll get started. Some big things going on. We have FOMC, of course, tomorrow. I'll give you a couple of my thoughts on that, as well as, other things as well. So I'm excited. I'm ready to trade today. All right, let's flip this down like this and let's go over the SPY. We'll start with the SPY. I'll give you a few of my thoughts on FOMC in general. And we'll go over the top runners of the day and we will go from there. Let's pop that 15-minute on. You know the routine. Let's delete all our levels. We have all these levels from live trading yesterday. Thoughts on FOMC immediate. Here's my thoughts. You can jot them down. You can write them down. You can bank them. If we get, there's like a 75% chance. This is what they're saying. There's a 75% chance of rates staying, going 25 BPS. That the basis points 25. That's the consensus. We were leaning towards 50, but with the banking crisis, people are talking about 25. But there's a rumbling underneath that of perhaps no rate hike. Just float. Don't do anything. And it's interesting because we had our report, which comes out every time we have a our rate hikes coming. Goldman Sachs puts out their own inflation report, and they put out a no rate hike report. It's very, very interesting. And they're talking about, some moderate GDP acceleration and the banking crisis, this and that. Here's the thing. The banks that are falling under were the banks with unbelievable risk attached to them. Credit Suisse has always been a bank with basic, fundamental, terrible problems in their risk ratio. All right. Things like even like Silvergate, SI. I mean, come on. They had overexposed risk. I think if we have no cut, we have a freeze tomorrow, 0 BP hike. I think that we absolutely fly. And I'm saying we're over 425 by the 1st of April. We're over 425 by the 1st of April if we get no rate hike. That's my thoughts on it. And if we get a 25 cut, I think we get a rip and then a strong dip. And I think here's the thing: higher the peak, the lower the valley. The Feds want to keep us super contained like we've been. If we look at the daily chart, we're sitting in a pretty tight contained zone of this 374 to 416. And in the last few weeks, even more so, this 380 to 406, that's where they want us. The Feds don't have to do anything if we stay in this zone. If we start ripping and we break over this 416, the fallout from this is going to be down in this 345 to 355 area. That will be what happens. So it's just something we really need to consider overall when we talk about whether we want a rate hike, whether we don't, what we want to see the market do. So I just think it's something to really, really consider because it's an interesting thing. And with these banks and the overexposure and the pain level there, I think that took 50 points off the table, but I expect 25. Consensus is 25. Goldman Sachs put out a very alluring report of no rate hike, flat. And then the zero or the cut of 0.25%, 25, I think would be bad for our market. That's just me. I'm not Kathy Woods. We know Kathy Woods, Elon, a few of them actually call for cuts. I don't agree with that. So let's check this chart out, our SPY. We're looking at our 15-minute market open here. All right, so we've uptrended all pre-market. We're uptrending, we're ripping. Which to me, I mean, historically, as of late, when we have a really strong pre-market open, we tend to sell off at market open. A couple things I'm immediately looking at is this line here. All right, if we get a rip, that's the area I would look for us to settle in. And then same thing on the bottom. We've got this trend channel we are sitting in right here. All right. And then we've got obviously our high of day yesterday, which was essentially our close of day yesterday, a pivot point for us. And now, as you can see, we've been hitting our head right around this area all of pre-market. All right. So this 397.31 is pretty important here. So we need to see a break over that pre-market high. If we pop on that 1 minute chart, that 397.31, that's what we want to see. We want to see that break and hold over that area with an impulsive move and a retest. Ideally, we want the retest, guys. All right. So we want to see the break up. Oops, sorry. We want to see our break up, our retest, and our push up to this trend line. That's what we're looking for. And on the flip side of that, we want to see our downtrend to see a loss of what I like for our entry for SPY puts would be a loss of this zone here. I'm not really touching anything in between this 395 and this 397.40. We want to see this is our zone for our SPY put entry, and play it down and look for some pickup of support here, which was our opening area, which was our peak high yesterday, as well as where we opened today pre-market, as well as where we couldn't break over after hours yesterday. That's a strong. So we lose this area. We lose that 394.16 with some authority. That's your swing put entry. That's the entry where you can make an argument holding it for the day, perhaps overnight, depending on how the rest of the day goes. And then as far as our call entry, breaking that high a day. And if we pop back and look at this chart, let's see what else we have here. We do have this wick high area as well at right around this area here as well. I'm not really comfortable taking the puts at that entry here. It is a riskier put entry. So that's what I'm looking for. That 397 break, 397.31 break with the retest to push up to our upper trend line. And then that loss of the 395.80 as a possible put entry down to our 394.17. That loss of 394.17 with the retest is strong bearish sentiment. That break of our trend line here all the way up at like 399 into 400. If we that area, we know how bullish we are. That's a 7-point rip already. Let's be real. No, there is not live trading on Mondays. I live trade Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then we live trade Discord only. We've got Pookie on Fridays in the Discord live trading. So let's pull up our top runners of the day and see what we think. All right, here we go. Let's put that 1 minute on. Wow, we just had a absolute blast on this one. This is interesting. I don't even know the news on this. This has been since I've been streaming here. I want to look at a couple things. That's a 200% rip. I want to see the float first off. Nothing special with the float, 40, 50 mil. So instantly we're automatically looking at this wick high area here, which would be our 597 to $6 area. The break of that area there would be my entry with some strong, I would say over 150K the first 5 minutes at market open. We want to see that strong volume as well. What was our peak volume here? We have 141K. Yeah, we want to match that peak volume of 141K with that break over $6. That would be my entry. And of course, with an entry like that, this wick low 555, that would be my stop loss on this one. We've got CISO, which has been a top runner for the day. We played it in the Discord. I actually got stopped out of this one. It was a little bit frustrating. We took an entry right about here. And when we lost 55 cents, I sold. Just have it rip up and take those targets. You know, that happens. It's part of what makes live trading so stinking risky. Day trading so risky. So we've got a couple very, very apparent areas here. We've got this double bottom we're sitting at right about now. And we also have our descending resistance hitting here. So we want to demagnetize ourselves from the line. We don't want to take this trade the second we break over this resistance. We want to give it a little buffer there. So for me, that would be above 59 cents, 58.5 cents. That would be my entry here. And of course, our stop loss would be the loss of 52.5 cents, giving yourself about, a 5 to 6, 8% stop loss there. I want to see that break with strong volume, of course. So I'd give it entry here at 60 cents would be my entry on this one as well. And then break over 70 cents and we're rocking. If we can break over that 70 cents area, that's when I think we can possibly touch our 92-cent area, at some point today. And don't forget, these levels are applicable through the market open, even after I'm no longer live. This 70-cent area to 71-cent area is a major, major, major zone. It's where we bounced on our initial impulsive break, and it's where we've hit our head twice. So a break of this level here and that fill up to 92 cents is on the horizon. I mean, so this is one you don't want to just simply turn your back on and not trade after that first half hour. It's one to watch, or bounces off this 54 cents and go back up to that 70 cents. That's 16 cents on 54 cents. That's like 25%, guys. So those are where we want those trades, and we want to continue to watch these charts. All right, this QNCX, another one. We immediately see our trend line here on the 5-minute. That's exactly what I'm looking for. This is not necessarily a flag, because a flag, I don't consider it a flag when it's longer than the pole. Here's our pole. Its flag is much longer than it. However, it is a nice move as well. So on this one, I'm not really wanting to touch it below. Oh, got 2 minutes till the market open. I forget to turn that alarm off when I'm live trading. That's my just in case I'm not looking at something to remind me, get back to my computer. So I want to see that break over that 150. I'm not really touching it between 138 and 150. Of course, a bounce here, you could take riskier entry above say 140, 141 and a half. Like 141 right here up to our upper trend line, and then we will perhaps break that. The ultimate thing we would love to see, if you take that riskier entry, is we get that break and then the impulsive break out of there, and then we come back and test and continue on. That's what we would love to see with something like that. So that's kind of what we're looking at if we take that riskier entry above 140. But our safer entry is going to be above our 150. Of course, we've got AKTX, which is not an interesting one at all. NVOS, baby. Everybody loves our NVOS. We've been uptrending all pre-market. Another one I amazingly got stopped out on by 0.5%, but you have to follow your trading plan, guys. We've got a broadening wedge on this one. All right. So at this area here, obviously we have a pickup of support right about here. Let's see. Right about here. So this is the area I'm kind of watching. I'd love to see a test. All right. I want to see us test bounce. I want to see the bounce, then the entry. So I want to see us come down, test about 13 cents, and then break back up about 13.5 cents. And that's where I would take that entry at 13.5 cents. Is only off the retest bounce and then the entry. And I'd actually raise that up a little bit. I'd say like 14 cents. I don't even want 13.5. I want 14. Only off the bounce. If we don't bounce, I would probably not take it till about 143. So 0.143, raise that up to our wick high here if we don't get that bounce test first. All right, so we're open. Let's keep this NVOS on and we'll go from there. Let's see. Let's make some money, everybody. Thank you so much, Nikki. I was going to answer that question as soon as we got into market open. We were just kind of watching the charts. I appreciate it. And that's actually it. Jacob W., one thing to consider when it comes to limited market orders is you can only do limit orders pre-market. So you have to remember that in general. That's a big part to remember when it comes to that. I watch these tickers here. All right, we haven't hit entry on this one. I'm broadening it up so we could see these candles a little better. Let's look at our CISO. Nasty sell-off candle. Kind of to be expected. So let's look at what we got here. So now we have this little bit of resistance or support right about 50 cents. That's kind of what I'm looking at right about this area here where we are bouncing. So at this point, I'm still not touching it. We want to push at least 2/3 of the way up this sell-off candle. So I want to see us come and test, at least fill out this much of the candle before I would even touch it for a consideration of that, that retest. Because I believe anything less than that 2/3 can set you up for further downtrend. You really got to be careful with that. And get caught, so buying off an exhaustion candle like that without waiting for some of the confirmation of a setback up is not the risk I'm willing to take on day trading. There's 19 million tickers out there we can trade. Why are we going to take bad trades with bad risk? Doesn't make sense to me. Move on to the next one. On to the next one. All right, so there's our entry with the bounce. I mean, guys, we talk about this, right? The bounce might not sustain, but the bounce was the bounce. I mean, that was a picture perfect bounce off that area here. That's what we're looking for. And that was quite a candle there too. So definitely wasn't 67%. I don't know what on earth is going on with Weeble. Okay, 4.5. It fixed it. That was the candle we wanted to see. That perfect bounce off our line. Our entry at 140. We already popped up to 145. It's 2.5%, 3%. If you're a scalper, that's all you're looking for. 1%, 2%, in and out, market buys, because the spread is not wide on this. When you have a 1 cent spread, you're good. You can market sell all day when there's no spread. If the spread's under 1%, market, especially on equities. It's a little different on our options. And you guys know, we talk about that a lot, but I was equity see ya out, scalping in and out, in and out. Cash accounts are king. You under 25K and you're not doing a cash account and you're trying to day trade, forget about it. Look up cash accounts. DM OG Nikki in the Discord. She'll help you out with cash account videos as well if you're one of our free members. I'm sure we have videos about that. So let's see what happens here. I really do want to see that push to our upper trend line. We talked about how risky the 141 entry was and how we wanted to see that push, that strong push here. Excuse me, guys. Let's check a couple more of our stocks. Let's check our NBOS. Nasty sell-off candle, what we expected here. So on this one, same thing. Let's see 2/3 of that candle come back, which means entry above 0.132. Down here, that's what we're watching for. This is our support resistance line. Let's see if our support becomes resistance. And if it does, we'll onto the next drawing board. But we ought to see 2/3 of a push up that. This one's not doing much. And CISO is starting to push up. It's getting close to that 2/3 of a candle. Don't take the entry on that one candle. This is an exhaustion candle. But there's that 52.5 cents. And see if it continues here. If we get this candle to rip over our trend line here, we should get a nice impulsive break up. That's what we're looking for, is in that area there. We don't like these exhaustion candles. We don't like taking entries on an exhaustion candle. We like to wait till the candle after the exhaustion where you come up and take a breath. Like the stock market takes a breath, all right? When you get these exhaustion candles like this, it's like you've been holding your breath. And it's how deep are you going to breathe in for that second breath? And a super shallow breath to immediately chug on, or you get that deep breath where it pulls back and it slingshots back up exactly like that right there. All right. That's exactly what we're looking for. So we talked about that 52.5 cents. We're already up 8 to 10% from taking that entry. If you took the bounce entry, which was risky, in my opinion, I wanted to see that 2/3 of the candle up to about 52 cents, 52.5 cents. But, if you took that bounce entry, you're already up 10% plus. And then on our entry, about 7% we hit right there. We need to see this candle continue on. We want to see this wick high. We want to see a break of this wick high. And we want to see this support and resistance stay support now. All right. If we pop on that 5-minute chart, we want this to stay support in here. So let's put back on that 1-minute chart. And it needs to hold right here. If it comes right back down, we don't like seeing that. Means it's just going to sit in this basic area here. And honestly, if we lose that 47, if we lose this, oh yeah, we're coming. This is a hard come down. We need to pop right back up right now, or I believe we come down, test that 45-cent area. That was a nasty sell-off candle, but it's also an exhaustion candle. So the next candle is where you really, make up your mind. All right. Continuing to dump, it looks like. Let's check our other charts. It's sitting right sideways right at our zone here. We want to see that push up. We want to see that break over that wick high 145 right now. That's what I'm talking about. So there's 2.5%, 3%, up to 4% on this one from our break off entry. If you took the bounce off of our trend line support, you're up about 7% on this one. That's funny that EV is actually trying to push, because I almost put a couple EV swing plays out, but they didn't give me the setups I was looking for yet. It looked like we weren't ready yet. So it's funny you say that, top. So there we go. There's about 3.5%, 4% from your middle entry. Bounce entry is up about 10%. Safe entry we haven't even hit yet. It depends on your trading risk. I mean, how much you want to expose yourself. NBOS is still kind of selling off. That's why we want to see a 2/3 of the candle push back up. And that applies the whole time down. So, all right, here's our 2/3 of a candle from that exhaustion candle. So we're sitting right about there right now. Let's see if we push back up. That's going to stop you from getting into bull trap setups, guys. You want to see those candles push 2/3 of the way back up. You want to see that reversal push. This actually is a pretty interesting chart right here. These are nice candles. I actually like this. I know we just popped onto this one randomly, pair, but I actually do like pair above 29 cents for an entry. This is a pretty nice setup for a push, in my opinion. Nice strong support here. It bounced off of. All right. Let's see if we have anything active. This is not active. This one's trying to be active. These are all like 3, 4, 5% up. If you're taking any of these trades and you're scalping any of these trades, you should be watching them anyway. So I am going to pop to the SPY and see what we got going on there. All right. Well, if you took our impulse entry over, 397.35, you probably already hit 15, 20% on 0 DTEs. Let's see what happens next from this area. I'm just skimming the things I have swings on just to see what's going on with them right now. Okay, I'll take it. I just want to check this one because I've got a lot of money in that trade. All right, looks good. All right, so we know what we're watching now. We're coming really close, actually, to our trend line that we were talking about, as a matter of fact, and we are holding right here. So I'm going to delete this line. I would love, love, love to see the retest bounce. All right. So if we come down and then we bounce back up, that's where I'm going to take my entry for SPY calls. And then if I do take the SPY calls, it's going to be the 398. It's $1.12 right now. $1.10, somewhere in there. Again, I'm not in anything. I'm just telling you the contracts. Mental note, if you're ever in trades with me, I go one out of the money on either side. You could go one or two out of the money. So it's 398, 399 on the call side, 396, 397 on the put side. The closer you get to the end of the day, don't go further than one out of the money. The theta is going to kill you, at least when you're close to money. If it goes the way expected to go, you're going to end up in the money and be okay. So remember that. Stay close to that money. Don't be cheap. If you're going to trade obscenely risky 0 DTEs, don't be cheap about it. Come on. If you can't afford it, you shouldn't be trading 0 DTE. I mean, that's the reality. If you can't afford it, you should not be trading it. All right. So at this point here, if we do break below and start to settle in our area here, that's where I would consider my put entry. I want the 1 minute on here. If we break this wick high candle, I'm probably going to take those calls. Again, the 398. And I will type these up. The 398 call or the I think it's the 397 put, right? Yeah, 397 put. These are the two I'll be buying. So if I say I'm in one or the other, this is the one I will be buying right there. And I will let you know. So Tesla's ripping. Well, no, not ripping. I mean, okay, so Tesla's got a nice little wedge. We know Tesla likes those impulsive wedge pushes as well. This is definitely something to watch as well on Tesla, because it's going to have a nice strong break when it does break. All right, I would love to see it pull back and then push secondary again. Let me get back that SPY. Not missing anything here. Let's pop back that Tesla. And then if I take a Tesla call, I'm going to take the 200. It's at $1.25-ish. And I'm in that Tesla. Only 2 contracts. And then I've got a tight stop below this wedge on Tesla. This is my stop zone down below here. And then I want to know what the SPY is doing along with Tesla, because it tells me that Tesla is outperforming the market at this point. So I'm not really dependent on the SPY to dictate what Tesla is going to do for me at this moment, which is what we want to see when we're in a Tesla trade. Always, always. All right. Selling a contract. All right. Sold 1 contract. About 10% right here. Maybe 7%. I know we have like a 20-second delay on YouTube. I do the best I can with that. I have 1 contract, 1 sold for 10%. And now what I would love to see happen with my second contract is the retest, touch this line, and then secondary push up like that. That's what I would love to see. If we don't get that, we need to see a break over our wick high. We had heavy rejection to wick high last time. We want to immediately see that blast. That's what we want to see right there. That's what we want to see. That is beautiful. Beautiful. If you're in 1 contract, can't tell you when to sell, but I can suggest what I would do if I had 1 contract. If I had 1 contract, I'd be out like a mofo at this point. So about 15% right here. That was a strong impulsive 2 candles. So we're doing the opposite. We don't want to see a 2/3 of the way pullback. So we're going to measure that 2/3. We want to see that pullback less than right here. We don't want that pullback to go past here for continuation. So it's the opposite of looking for the reversal when we're looking for the confirmation. We want to see it hold that 2/3 up. SPY's still sideways. It's exactly in the same exact stinking place. Look at that. Tesla looks way better than the SPY. We picked the right stock, boys and girls. There's some continuation too. Hoo-hoo! We love our Tesla sometimes. There was close to 20% right on that push. So we could delete this. We know our 2/3. We know this is our 2/3 line. I'll even put a little 2/3 here. 2/3. So you guys know why we have that line. And then this one can be gone. That's what we call a beautiful impulsive break. We caught it just in time. It was perfect, guys. That's absolutely what we're looking for there. And we knew that because it's the first half hour of the day, we didn't wait for a retest. We just kind of jumped in. But at the same time, we jumped in because we knew it's the beginning of the day. The impulse is going to be stronger and immediate. So I knew, okay, if we get tricked and it is the impulsive push, what are we at right now on these contracts? We're up about 30 cents. So over 20%, 25%. We knew that, and then we know at that point, like, this was our stop loss. If that impulsive doesn't give us enough, we know where to take that stop loss. And then we know how to measure these candles to feel better about the continuation versus setup. And on that note, all you mofos, I'll see you in the Discord. We're going to head over to Discord and we're going to make real money. This is just the warm-up money. We're going to make real money. And if you want to come make money with me right here, let me pop this bigger so you can see. If you're not part of our Discord, right here, discord.gg/pennyboys, DM OG Nikki, Amajama, or Mr. SLP. And we might have a little bit of a deal we can work out for you guys if you want to come join us in premium and make some real money. Until tomorrow, peace out, Cub Scouts.